Welcome to Joe's Astrology. Today is March 15th, Friday, 2024. Before I get started, I just want to encourage you, please subscribe to the channel. I have lots of great content here, and I just did a great video with what I think is one of the best astrology books ever. So check that, go to my channel, check that out. It's a really great astrology book. And it is still a Pisces Sun approaching a conjunction with Neptune. If your dreams aren't amped up, then you must not be a dreamer, because mine are getting crazy and crazier as we get closer to Neptune. We have Pisces Sun, Gemini Moon. Gemini Moon is an interesting configuration. Well, Pisces Sun and Gemini Moon, it's probably a little rare because we have the combination of the right brain and the left brain. This could be a really good artist because of that, I would say. A musician, painter, etc. The artistry coming, the right brain, the creativity coming from the Pisces, and then if you've ever done art, there is a very left brain component to it, especially for beginners. They would also be able to sell their art very well with that Gemini Moon. And this is in a positive expression of Gemini Moon. In a negative expression of Gemini Moon, I mean, I could see this Pisces Sun and Gemini Moon in a negative expression being like a really good spy or someone who's very secretive and very good at what they do. You know, with Mercury ruling that moon, it could be like a serious trickster, which I have known some Gemini moons that are, the ones that I have known, they are either had like a past where they've really been that negative expression, and they're just now coming to recognize that past. I've also seen some really good business people with the Gemini moon, and it's harder to see that trickster element to that Gemini moon with the ones that I've met, but it's there. As time goes on, you can see it. I wouldn't say it's 100% negative, but that is a Gemini moon in more of a negative light. Maybe somebody, a thief or someone who steals. So in modern world, they might still be a thief, but they're really good at hiding it, or it's not exactly considered stealing, but could be interpreted that way. So we have Venus moving into a quintile. It's going to be moving into that quintile aspect with Uranus in a couple days here, which I'll talk about that. We have a lot of planets in what's known as the balsamic phase in relation to some of the outer planets. We have Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, Neptune. Sun, Neptune might not be considered balsamic, but we can throw it in there. Mercury, North Node, Venus, Saturn, Mars, Saturn. And I think that that really makes the spring like really an anticipatory spring, which I'm sure spring is always, for most people would say that spring is anticipated regardless of where the planets are. But if you have something coming up on the horizon that you're not sure, just generally without looking at your chart, or you could just say in general the population is really going to have that feeling of anticipating things happening this spring or into the summer, or even just into the next couple of weeks with that Venus, Saturn, Sun, Neptune, Mercury, North Node. But definitely that Jupiter, Uranus is going to be the big one. And I just want to leave you with a quick story. Uh, with the moon just leaving, was making a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus yesterday, and I met somebody yesterday, and this happens all the time in my life. I met someone yesterday, moon conjunct Uranus, and it was a really good interaction. Uh, Possibly we'll see him again in the future. And he had a very Uranian quality to him for sure. Um, Gemini, uh, Gemini, Air, and Aquarius, etc. And I got his birthday, and I looked up his chart, and sure enough, he had Moon opposite Uranus. And here it was on Moon conjunct Uranus. I met this person, he had Moon opposite Uranus, and he also had Venus conjunct Uranus. And like I said, I see this stuff all the time, especially when considering that Moon Uranus conjunction. And these things can, if you're aware of them, I think they can happen in your life as well. You just have to be looking for them. They may be occurring, and you're not even knowing it because you're not into astrology or something or things of that nature.